Hey guys, welcome back. Today I've got a special guest, my fiance Ed. Today we're going to be talking about banking and how we handle our money abroad and the different bank accounts we have and how we handle everything to try and save money while we're traveling. So normally when you're traveling, there's a bunch of different kind of costs to consider. There's ATM withdrawal fees. A lot of countries, the ATM will just charge you a fee, which is essentially unavoidable, am I right?
Yeah, that's usually the case. Sometimes if you get a local card, then you can avoid that fee.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
If you're somewhere for a long period of time, you might want to try and get a local bank account and then use something like Transferwise to put the money in. But yeah, in general, ATM fees are unavoidable.
And then the second fees are kind of getting money in. So if you're using Transferwise, you have to pay to get money into that account. And then the third is the exchange rate. Oh, and the fourth is money that your bank charges you on foreign withdrawals. So those are kind of the four types of costs, right?
Yeah, I think that's about right. And most traditional banking options, they're probably not going to be a great option for digital nomads because they're not really built for this thing where we're spending a lot of money abroad.
Yeah.
And so they offer tons of other benefits, but they might not be the best option to actually withdraw money abroad. And so that's what we're looking at in this video.
So the first one that we use is Revolut, which is kind of designed for the nomad almost, isn't it? It's a very like international kind of online bank where you can do lots of cheap withdrawals.
Yeah, definitely. So Revolut is essentially a prepaid MasterCard and you can withdraw, they advertise at the real exchange rate. So you can withdraw at the real exchange rate abroad and generally you don't get charged any of these fees that banks might charge when you're withdrawing from an ATM or so on. There's a couple of caveats for that. Thailand is a really popular destination for digital nomads and Chiang Mai is the capital of the digital nomad scene, I would say. But Revolut is actually not very good in Thailand. They give you a really bad rate on the Thai baht and they don't tell you this on their website. They just advertise as we give you the real exchange rate. Which is not true. So I think they get all their exchange rates from another third party and these aren't always quite the real exchange rate. So if you look in the app you can usually see exactly what they're going to give you, but you will need to like click the button into the exchanges to have a look at the actual rate you're going to get. So that would definitely be my tip with Revolut, is before you withdraw any money at all in any country you are abroad, just have a look to double check what the rate is going to be and compare it with Google. The second thing with Revolut is just to check the monthly withdrawal limits. So I think they have fixed limits on the amount of money you can withdraw from ATMs, the amount of money you can top up and stuff like that. So check the limits and check the exchange rate, but in general it's a great option for digital nomads, especially if you're in Europe or in America or something. So I try to open bank accounts when we go to new places. For example, we're in Chile at the moment and we've got a local Chilean account and it means we get a much better rate on all the ATMs over here. Try and open a local account if you can do. If you can't, then there are really good startup banks that are just good to have anyway. So if you're living in Germany, for example, N26 is fantastic. Similar to Revolut, if you withdraw money abroad, like even if it's not in Germany, if it's in another country, they will give you a really good exchange rate on that transaction. And they generally don't charge any fees on ATMs. And as with Revolut, like be careful just to check what the limits are with N26 or whatever startup bank. I know Fidor Bank is another one, and then in the UK there's Monzo, and they seem pretty good as well. I've had a play around with them. But yeah, have a look at the startup banks. Lots of new great companies coming out, and lots of them will give you a fantastic rate while you're abroad, which is great for digital nomads.
And do you have to be in a particular country to apply for all these accounts?
In general, you have to be a resident of the country where the bank is located, I would say. Yeah, you'll need somewhere they can post the card to. So Revolut works with a mobile app and also a physical card. So you need to get access to that card somehow. Transferwise is a really good option if you have a local bank account in the country that you're traveling in. They generally give the best exchange rates I've found. They're very transparent with the fees they charge, which is one of the problems that I've had with Revolut. But Transferwise, very upfront, they say this is the rate you're going to get, these are the fees that we're going to charge you. And generally they're very low. It's the best way to do it if it's available in your country. If it's not, there are Transferwise competitors like World Remit.
And I guess as well as getting money into your own local account, we sometimes use it if we have some big bills to pay, like rent or something, to a local person. It's quite a cheap way to pay them.
Yeah, exactly. If you need to get money into a local bank account, then Transferwise is a really good option. But one of the challenges as a digital nomad is lots of the time you won't have access to a local bank account.
Yeah.
So although Transferwise is good in some situations, it's probably not going to be the only answer for you, and you're probably going to need something like Revolut or a good startup bank, and there's lots of them cropping up, or even some traditional banks, like you use a bank back home which gives a really good rate.
I use one called Norwich and Peterborough Building Society, which is some super obscure bank. I presume they have branches, but I just applied for a card online, and you have to have £5,000 in the account at all times, otherwise you pay £5 a month fee, which to be honest is still a bargain. But anyway, withdrawals across the world are free, and they do a very, very good rate. They do pretty much the market rate on the exchange. So you do still have to pay ATM fees if the country you're in is charging that. That's pretty much unavoidable. But you don't have to pay any like bank fees on the transfer, and you get a very good exchange rate. So I'd highly recommend them. I just applied for a card online. It took a couple of minutes. You do have to then be in England to receive the physical card, obviously, to use in ATMs. But that's one that I found is really good. And didn't you have one which does free withdrawals in Europe?
Yeah, so Nationwide used to be good, and this is one of the problems with some of the more traditional banks, is you probably need to keep up to date with what rates they're charging you, because lots of them will give you introductory offers to try and get you in the door, but then a couple of years down the line it might not be a very good option anymore. There are banks that offer this sorts of things, not just in England, like in America, some of our friends.
And theirs, they don't even pay any ATM fees. The bank reimburses them for the ATM fees. Theirs seems very good.
Yeah.
If you're American, definitely get it. Cool, so that's pretty much it that we know so far about Nomad banking. Definitely let me know in the comments if you have questions about a particular country, or if there's something you know about that we haven't mentioned. Ed is obsessed with reading more about startup banks and ways to avoid foreign transaction fees. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Hey guys, it's your boy Ed here, the Digital Nomad. What's gonna be my like douchebag handle?
Yeah, shall I just do the intro because it's my channel?
Hey guys, it's your boy Ed here on your YouTube channel at Digital Nomad Girl. We're just chilling here with my guest Louise.
Okay. Hey guys.
Hey guys, Ed here. It's your boy. Okay, fine.
Okay.
How you bud? Maybe using up too much of the
Sorry, this is how I film. I like all this bit. Is it?
Hey guys, it's your boy Ed. Digital Nomad Prince, or whatever.
Is that what you're gonna be?
Yeah, that one's gonna be that.
Digital Nomad Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, alright. No, look, see, look, you've got extra space off the...
Yeah, but I'm bigger than you. You're tiny.
Well, I'm the star.